welcome back to the Fundamentals podcast, where we talk all things related to sports from a fan's perspective. This is an opinion-based podcast, so if you don't like our opinion, don't know what to tell you. Fellas, what's up? It's been a little bit.
Don't know.
Good to see you guys.
Good.
Yeah,
Good seeing y'all
I'm
again.
happy to
Back
see
in the
y'all.
building.
Yeah, back in the. I'm happy. I'm happy. It feels good. It's been a little bit.
Back in the building. You know what I'm saying?
There had been so much going on since we last, and it seems like it's been over a month, but it's actually only been like 22 days
2
or
weeks.
something like that. Yeah, a couple weeks. It feels a lot longer.
Yeah.
But there's been so much the off season NFL stuff with the trade and the physical and Crosby and it's been some interesting stuff going on, like with some of the teams. And I know some people kind of felt like this off season wasn't like super exciting, but to me it actually kind of was. And the reason is because all the coaching shifts. So it was kind of like interesting to see what different what different coaches at new teams were gonna do. You know what I mean? And so, but I feel like my team, the Rams, have addressed many needs in the secondary. They've improved in that. But other than that, we didn't need to do a lot of things. I feel like the NFL draft is going to be all free game for us. I'm gonna start with you, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, I haven't seen the Broncos do a lot, but is there anything that you feel they should address, or anything that you see in your division that's going to change some things?
Sure. Well, we were one broken ankle away from a Super Bowl, in my opinion.
I totally agree.
That's a fact.
Yeah. And I think Bo Nix Broncos would have put up a better fight than the Patriots did. I think the Patriots there was a lot of things turned their way, that's sports, that happens. We re-signed Singleton, which is good. We re-signed Dobbins, which is good. I think the biggest free agent we need to go after now is Von Miller. We need to make sure that he retires a Denver Bronco.
Okay.
I think I'm just like you when you talk about the Rams, that you say, everything else we can address in the draft. I'm happy with where our team is at now, especially with our quarterback only in his third year coming up. That's awesome. We're still running a team on a quarterback rookie salary, which is awesome. We just finished paying off all of that Russell Wilson money.
Yeah.
That the fact that we were able to go to the AFC Championship game last year and to the playoffs the year before that, despite the fact that we were just hurt, $89 million salary hit and stuff like that, by Russell Wilson. That hurt us, but Sean Payton did a great job, So I like the way we're going. I think the Chiefs, they're still. I know they got that running back from Seattle, the MVP.
Kenneth Walker III.
Yeah,
Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
Sorry. But Mahomes is still trying to get healthy after the torn ACL, and Travis Kelce's gonna limp into another season. I think his best days are behind him, so I'm not worried about Kansas City. The Raiders with the Max Crosby thing, that's wild. What happened with that?
Yeah.
So with that happening, and then they're going through all kinds of different changes with didn't they fire Pete Carroll already? I mean, there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening.
He's gone.
Yeah, but they'll draft that Indiana quarterback, so But I don't know.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. We
Good.
don't know what he's going to be in the NFL though.
Yeah, yeah. He's excited. I think he's a good kid.
Yeah,
But I'm not worried about the Raiders, and I think the Chargers are overrated. They play good at the first half of the season every year, and then they just fall apart.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Herbert's overrated. I think Jim Harbaugh's over
Mm-hmm.
or John Harbaugh's overrated.
I don't
I
know
don't
about
like
that one.
I don't
I
like anything about them. So,
Harbaugh. I don't think
I
he's
think Harbaugh's
overrated,
solid.
but
He's
Herbert
legit.
is definitely overrated.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've been on the defense of him, right? In recent history. And after last season and this season, I'm like, okay, I can't. I no longer can defend it. Right?
yeah, yeah,
Like I no longer like I tried, and then I was like, no, 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 no. It's you. There's no more excuses.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just
Well,
don't get
his
it done
Yep.
when it
yeah,
counts.
his window's open right now with Mahomes hurt and the Chiefs kind of lagging and stuff.
Hmm.
But that window might have already closed last year when the
Yeah.
Broncos
He
When the
got good
Broncos
again.
took over, yeah,
Yeah. So
if
he
he
might have
had that
missed
was
his
his opportunity.
opportunity. Yeah.
yeah,
That was his opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I want Von Miller back in Denver. I want him to retire a
retire as a
Bronco.
Bronco. Yeah,
And I mean, he still had 8 sacks last year, so it's not like we're picking up just a shell of the man.
yeah,
But so yeah, I think he can still contribute and he be a leader on the team, and
yeah,
and then we just need Bo to get healthy again.
yeah, yeah, for
So
sure.
That's a
yeah, I'm
fact.
happy with our off season so far.
Good deal, Adrian.
It makes sense. Well, you already know we got the big pickup, so
Big
definitely
pickup.
have to bolster our receiving core. So we
Big
might
Yeah,
lose.
pickup.
We could lose Jennings, so we needed another receiver. We're probably gonna get rid of Ayuk some point in
L-
time. I'm
Losing
thinking they
Jennings
might.
and picking up what y'all picked up is a upgrade in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an upgrade too. But at the same time, I don't want to lose somebody like Jennings, neither, who's a good, solid receiver, when we already got somebody like Ayuk that ain't playing.
That's
So
true.
I'm thinking that we're gonna probably move on. We're definitely gonna more than likely move on from Ayuk, whether that be releasing him sometime or try to see what we can get in the draft for him. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what they're gonna end up doing with Ayuk. I like that we picked up some linemen,
Yes.
because we really need some offensive linemen. We picked up a center, we picked up another tackle.
Picked
Um,
up a left guard too,
so
didn't you?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think picked up three offensive linemen, helps us with our depth. That's somewhere where we need some help at. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be run Trent Williams side all the time. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and I know we're supposed to be trying to restructure his contract. So I like what we did so far. I know we got Drake Greenlaw back, so I
Yes.
like that. And hopefully he can stay healthy. If he could stay healthy, that'd be great. You know what I'm saying? So I like
yeah,
what
we're
we've
gonna miss
done.
Oh
him.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh
He
yeah.
did good. Yeah, he had a great year last year.
Even though he only played 8 games because he got injured again, and the quads and hamstrings he got going is bad because of that ACL too. So I mean, but I'm happy to get him back. I'm looking forward to us. I think we traded for a defensive tackle from Dallas also. So that's trying to. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see how he does. Hopefully he does good. He can't really. We'll see. He's coming from a
Yeah.
place that we ain't gonna get into it. I ain't even want to mention their name, but apparently I did. But so but I think we had a good off season. I want to see what we're gonna address in the draft. I think we need to get more depth, pretty much, especially on our defensive line. We need more depth because it can't just be Nick Bosa and that's it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's what we was missing last year. We didn't have Nick Bosa. We couldn't do nothing pass
Nothing.
rush
There was
wise.
no pressure.
Yeah, so I think that's what we really need. We need to pick up Nick Bosa. I mean, we need somebody else to go on side of him.
Yeah.
Hopefully some of the players that were there last year, get a couple of I know we had a rookie that was pretty solid. So hopefully, they develop, but in the draft, I think we need to go ahead and look at getting some more depth defensively, especially.
Got you. Yeah.
We could probably use, of course, we could probably always use like another receiver out there. Even though I know we are putting our our eggs in a basket on Pearsall. You know what I'm saying? And we got Evans now.
Yeah.
We re-signed our backup tight end, which I like that because I think
That
Tonga's was pretty good for
that
us
was a good
when
that
Kittles
was
went
a good
down.
signing. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
and we got a
stepped in
kicker.
a big way.
Yeah, and we signed a kicker that actually can kick the football, so that's always good.
Yeah.
But I think we just need depth. That's where we missing most of it. I mean, we show we have a little depth because what we were able to do with those backups, that
Hmm.
does show that we got something. But I think defensively is where we really need to bolster up, like especially the linebackers. Even though I feel like we got good linebacking core, but without Warner, with Bethune going
Injuries.
down and everybody going down, we need some people that's gonna really be not injury prone, and that's
Hmm.
really the thing that hinders us the most is that we just for whatever reason we can't stay healthy. But I think we dress the offensive line. We probably can pick up another receiver. I would love for them. I don't know if they got Kendrick Bourne yet. I would love for them to bring him back, but I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah.
I would love to have Jennings again. I don't know what that's all about, but picking up Mike Evans was good for us.
Yeah.
And I want to see what
Huge.
we do with Ayuk and see if we can flip Ayuk for something worth the dang. And then
Yeah.
get some depth at the defensive lineman, the defensive line. Get a good defensive line, get some pressure. We'll be good. I think we'll be in a good spot.
Yeah. 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 Especially specifically with me and you, with us being in the same division, I'm always watching what the Niners do, what Seattle does, what Arizona does, because it's a division rival. So you want to know what are we playing. Each one of them teams we play twice a year, so we want to
Hmm.
know, in our division what we up against. I saw that Mike Evans, and I was like, I'm glad we went and got some solid corners. I'm glad we
Yeah.
signed McDuffie. You know what I mean? I'm glad we working on the secondary and we locking up
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Um,
we did pick up a cornerback from Miami. I think it was Miami. I can't think of
Miami,
his
yeah.
name now off the top of my head. But we
I,
picked up a cornerback to try to get a little more depth. I
you
can't think of
you
his
know what I
name
was
now.
worried about? I was like, man, I hope they don't pick up Kobe Durant. He went to Dallas though. He signed 1 year in Dallas. Tutu Atwell. I wish we would have figured out a way to utilize him because he was a good deep
Y'all
ball threat.
wasted
But
it.
for whatever reason, McVay just hardly ever played him.
Yep.
But he's in Miami now. Um, man, so let me ask y'all this: when y'all first saw the Max Crosby trade to Baltimore, what was y'all's thoughts? What was your thoughts?
Baltimore is smart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I thought that was,
Baltimore was
yeah,
smart. I
yeah.
mean, you had a potential to get Max Crosby and then possibly get what's his name, Hendricks, because I think they were trying
Yeah,
to get
Hendrickson,
both of
yeah, from
them.
Cincinnati. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were trying to get both of
They
them on
wanted
the
both of
team.
them. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that would have been the smartest
Oh
thing they
gosh,
could have
could you
ever done.
imagine that division if they got both of them?
well,
Like, because
yeah, I want to know how hurt he really is to turn
well,
down that trade.
From what I
okay,
heard is the fact that he had just like a week prior to that just got off crutches.
crutches. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
so that means he still was recovering. He got to the point to where he finally can start walking. So he's not gonna really
So if he was just on
trying to
crutches a
pass a
week
physical.
ago, why are they trying to make him pass a physical?
physical. Because generally in that situation, I'm curious. I feel like there's more behind it because generally in that
Yeah.
situation, what they do is they'll do like the kind of contract, like a circumstantial contract, like if he's not ready by this time, right?
Right.
Hmm.
Then it voids everything, right? And so I find it interesting because as somebody that has had a torn meniscus before, um, like it's a little bit worse than it sounds. Now, most players will just get it shaved in the season and then get it repaired in the off season. I had mine shaved, just and never, that was it, and you know kudos to anybody that can still go out and play after just having it shaved. Obviously, they're professional athletes, so they get a lot more of the uh, the training and all of that, and the
Mm-hmm.
rehab and just the upper echelon stuff. Um, but I just feel like there's more to it because I feel like everybody knew. Well, he had surgery on his meniscus. Like it wasn't a secret. It was a
Yeah.
big thing. I feel like everybody knew about that, and in my mind, I was like, okay, they're going to say, hey, we'll do this, and he should be ready by this date, right? I didn't. I figured he'd be ready before the season, right?
Right.
From
Yeah.
and so when I saw that the trade, that they decided no, he didn't pass the physical, I was like, there seems to be more to it, in my opinion. And so, yeah, that kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah, that's
It
where I
has
was
to be.
going with that. Yeah, because
Yeah,
like you said, a meniscus tear. I mean, that's not. I mean, I'm not trying to play it down, but
yeah.
it's not an ACL tear
It's not right, right, right.
where you have to put screws in and then and all that other
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah,
It's like you said, shaving or just cutting around it so it
around it,
just
yeah.
doesn't continue to tear.
Terror, exactly. Yeah,
So yeah, it's
Sound like
I think
somebody
there's a
just got
lot more
cold
to
feet.
it.
there
Yeah.
is.
Well,
There's,
That's
they
what
were
it
so
sounds like to me.
fast. Yeah, they were so fast to pull the trigger
yeah,
on cancellation that it's like, ooh, yeah,
yeah,
maybe they weren't really sold on it,
yeah.
and they were like, oh, here's our opportunity now to get out of it because, yeah,
Yeah,
who
that's
knows? Yeah.
yeah. Who knows? I mean, there's so much speculation, and the thing is, historically, is the Raiders organization, historically, look, let's call a spade a spade. They're known to piss people off, right? Like
All the
just
time.
his historically, they're just known to piss people off. So
All the
what
time.
else happened? Like that,
Yeah.
automatically, I'm thinking it's the Raiders. So they pissed somebody off, and Baltimore was like, you know what, screw it,
Screw
let me
you.
pull the
Yeah,
trade
screw
back.
you. We gonna just
Yeah,
go ahead back out of this one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and so then that then is he going to even get traded? What are other team doctors thinking? What else is going on? They had talked about Dallas had reached out for him, and they had talked about New England. And does this whole thing change all of
Well,
that?
I
At the end of
think
the day,
what ended
we
up
never know.
happening. I think what ends up happening is that it resets the market on his value. So
Absolutely.
now
Yeah, they're not getting
everybody's
two
looking
first
That's
rounds
for.
valid.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
Yeah,
now they're not gonna get what they could have got for him. You know what I'm saying?
right. The
Because
first round
okay,
picks.
we understand that these doctors are saying, nah, he didn't pass his physical. So now, okay, well, we are not willing to spend as much on him now.
Yeah.
That sucks for
Yeah,
Crosby if he wants to be gone from Oakland, but
Oh,
yeah,
at the same
yeah.
time, it's like for the Raiders, it could be a good thing. They got the cap still for him, so I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it could be a good thing for the Raiders in the long haul. But at the same time, somebody's gonna pull the trigger on him. I mean, at some
Yeah.
point in time, somebody's gonna pull the trigger on him
won't
because I
be
mean,
this year.
he, it could be.
It
It
could
could
be.
be
Yeah.
before the start of the season. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about
Yeah.
it. If you
Yeah. What
get
if
through,
Baltimore comes back and says, "Hey, how about
but
maybe
but
a
think
second
about
round pick?"
this. Think about this. You get through the draft without him getting traded, his value is gonna drop.
Yeah,
See, the draft, his stock is going. They're gonna want high, but then once you get through that draft, and after the draft is over with,
There's nothing to trade him
the
for
value is
now.
going to start dropping. So
Hmm.
now, in order to
Yeah.
actually trade, either the Raiders are going to keep him, which would be in their best interest if they were smart and they wanted to bolster their defensive roster or whatever.
Sure. I would keep
Yeah, I
him.
mean, what would you lose for him? But
Yeah.
if you don't trade him by draft night or you can't find a good draft pick, then I could see him. Yeah, I could see them keeping him for another year. But I also could see that somebody trading him in the offseason later on down the road, trying to get him for cheaper value.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
I I was
Throw in
surprised
some
that they
throw
put
in
him
some
on the
future
market.
picks or
Yeah.
something like that. They're gonna probably
You
give
were
you future picks and stuff.
you were surprised that that they put him on the market?
Why would they trade him? Why would I mean they just signed him to the big contract a few years ago. So he's still got a lot of time on that deal.
This is
And
true, but you look at a team that has absolutely zero chance of winning anything next year. They're clearly going through a rebuild. If you could get assets, and yes, does it hurt to get rid of a player like that? Yeah, absolutely. But if you could get assets and just say, look, we're just gonna total rebuild. I don't know, man. You're not gonna win this year.
I think that sets a precedence for anybody else that wants to play for him. I like his attitude in this whole thing. He posted on social media, Raider for life, and
I agree.
you know,
I think
and
he
and
really
he's
wants to be
he's
a
doing
Raider
the
for life, though.
professional thing. Yeah, but if I were him, I'd be a little hurt right now. I'd be a little pissed
I
off.
mean, I agree.
Um,
He's handling it great,
yeah,
and yeah,
yeah,
He
and
might
and
really want to be in. He might really want to be in Vegas. I mean, it's a possibility that he didn't really want to get traded. I don't think that's the case, but I'm just saying some people do
yeah.
like where they're at. You know what I'm saying? So it could be he wants to be a Raider for life, and he would love for their organization to build into something good because he spent so much time
but this
working
is
with them.
this is the
But
same thing, the same conversation we have about Miles Garrett. Like, why would you want to stay on a team that's
well, Miles
clearly,
Garrett went for money. We already know that.
yeah? Oh, well, yeah.
He came
That's
back for the money. Max
That's
Crosby
a
already signed his deal for the money. It's a different story there. You know what I'm saying? Like Miles Garrett was complaining that he wanted to win a championship and all this other stuff, and then you go and you resign for the money because the money was too good for you to pass up, and now you stuck on a team to where you ain't got no. You gave away your leverage because you have a contract now. So Max Crosby done already signed his, so I'm pretty sure he's like, whether I go or I don't, it don't really matter to me. I'm just here to play football. That could be the way he's thinking. You never know. I mean, he might actually want to be a Raider. He might love the organization. Some people do. I don't know. I don't know his mindset, but he is being very professional about it. He's going about it the right way, and he might not really care either way it goes. Who knows?
yeah. Well, we will see
And
what
then on
that
top of it,
holds.
and I was about to say, on top of that, it ain't like the Raiders backed out of the trade.
yeah,
It ain't the
yeah,
organization saying, "Oh, we weren't trying to get you somewhere you might want to go, or help you move on to something bigger and better things."
Yeah,
We actually put it out there to get some value for you and get you to a place where we think you can win.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I mean, it wasn't like they were trying to. I mean, you just think
Yeah,
about it.
they
They
definitely
they
gave
ushered
him.
them still ushered them into the AFC. So, it's just one of those things like, well, we weren't trying, we had an offer. They probably sat them down. Hey, we had a good offer. We're going to get you we're rebuilding right now.
Baltimore.
You know what I'm saying? We're rebuilding right now. We retooling everything, rebuilding everything from the ground up. If you want to stay, we love to have you, of course. But if you would like to go, that's probably a conversation they had. And, they did what they were going to do. It wasn't the Raiders that didn't want to take this deal. It was Baltimore. So, there's no reason for Max Crosby to feel any type of way.
Yeah.
You see an organization trying to work to get you where you want to go. If you want to leave, or breaking it down to you, like we really want you to be here, but we are in the rebuild
Well,
state.
yeah. As a player though, you feel that that's home. He, I'm sure he understands the business, and so that's why he's being a professional about it. At the end of the day, it's a business. There's times where I'm peed off at some of the things the Rams let go. The Cooper Cup thing, but at the end of
Yeah,
the day, it was a business. Quite honestly, it made us a better team last year. I do think having Devonte Adams, I questioned
and guess
it, but
what?
I do. Hmm.
It made Seattle a better team too. They won a
Mm,
super. They won a Super Bowl.
they won a Super Bowl, but it wasn't because of Cooper Cup.
He had something to do with some of them things. Now
Yeah, but
it might
you
not be
know,
the biggest role, but them small roles work too.
yeah,
He didn't.
that could
So
have went either way. If you know that
it
that
could have
game,
helped y'all if y'all kept Cooper Cup. Cooper Kupp,
No,
Devontae
I
Adams,
don't.
and
I
what you
don't.
call him?
I don't. I don't. Devontae Adams had like 14 touchdowns last year, so I don't. I think it was 14 or
That's
15.
great. That's mostly red zone touchdowns, but yeah, he did.
If you just stop him in the red zone, then
Yeah, I mean, it's just like saying that's the same thing you can say about Cooper Kupp. He was clutch for y'all for years.
I know.
Very much
And
so.
I just don't think he's doing the same things that Devontae Adams did last year. Period. So I just don't. Kyler Murray going to Minnesota is he the starter now? Because I mean, is he the starter there now? I mean, because that's his team. That's his favorite team growing
Yeah.
up, and they have JJ McCarthy. So I mean,
He's the best
Short
quarterback
answer,
on the team
right,
now, as far as I'm
short
concerned.
answer to the long answer.
We talk about overrated quarterbacks.
Short answer, yes. Long answer,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
he
he
is.
is.
I think it's a good sign by the Vikings because they already messed up by letting the Super Bowl winning
Sam
quarterback
Darnold.
Sam
Sam
Darnold
Darnold
leave
go.
their organization.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I thought it was.
Isn't
I
it
thought it
crazy
was
though? That's
so.
the same thing that I was just saying that there with Cooper Kupp. He left for the organization and got there and won a championship with the same team that Sam Darnold went to.
Yeah, but
No, I don't want to hear it.
Minnesota didn't make the playoffs. We played Seattle in the AFC. I mean, in the NFC Championship game. So you know what I mean. So
And at the end of the day, ain't now one of us won.
Oh man,
exactly.
Here we go.
Ain't now one of us won.
Hey,
Cooper Kupp went somewhere and guess what? Beat your team and my team, but beat your team, the team that had him, to go to the playoff, to the championship and win one. That's throwing salt in the wound right there, boy.
That game could have went either way. Could have went
We
either way.
We know which way it went.
Okay.
Look, I'm not even talking smack about y'all because we got smacked around. So I can't. I'm just saying that's what happened.
Yeah,
reality is what reality is.
Yeah.
I ain't got no dog in the fight, but I'm just saying the only other thing about it is my team was banged up. I don't know what y'all excuse was.
Oh no, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We ain't do. My team was bad. No. Because you know what? When it comes to playoff team, every team is banged up once they get there.
Not like us. Not like us. We ain't have Kittle. We ain't have Kittle. We had no defensive line. We had no linebackers. We had nothing. Everybody. We've been playing with nothing all year long.
Did y'all have 11 men on the field?
Yeah. Does that mean anything?
Okay.
Hey,
it was they 11 against your 11.
Hey, guess what? Did Minnesota have 11 people on the field?
We're not talking about
Did
Minnesota.
they make the playoffs?
We're not talking about Minnesota.
Every team got 11 men on the field.
Hey,
now,
we're not talking about. We're talking about teams being
whether
banged
those
up
11,
in the playoffs.
Whether those 11 people were healthy or not, there's a reason why they call backups.
Hey, either way, they.
Hey, I'm just saying, it's the truth. I'm just saying, reality is what reality is. We were banged up. I don't know what y'all excuse was, but we were banged up all year long. We just managed to get everybody was against the 49ers in every single category all year. I watched First Take and all that stuff all year long. Not ever put us on the list. They had the Rams number 1 or Seattle number 1, the number 2 on their little list of all the teams.
Why was they gonna put y'all number 1 if y'all wasn't number 1?
Let me ask you a question. Why weren't we even in the top 5? Why couldn't we be
y'all
in
was
the top
winning
5,
y'all
top
record.
10?
Y'all record.
We wasn't in the top 5, and we were winning games.
Yeah, but y'all, like.
See, bleep. You know why? It's because they didn't trust the 49ers because they have nothing but backups out there. Everybody was injured and banged up. That's why. Let's just keep it 100. That's why nobody was talking about the 49ers. I'm just speaking truth.
I'm gonna let you have it. If that's the one you want to ride with, we're gonna let you have it.
It's not even riding with. It's the truth. We were even shocked on this thing talking about them winning games.
Yeah. We were.
Come on, bro.
But either way,
I mean, but at the end of the day, like I said, we got our ass whooped. So it is what it is, I'm just saying,
you can't admit by the time it gets playoff time, everybody's just playing banged up for the most part. I get it. Your circumstance was different. Y'all was injured, out for the
Tell that
season,
to
all of
tell
that.
that tell that to the Broncos.
Yeah, but if Bo Nix if that's what I'm saying, if Bo Nix is,
Everybody's banged up. But if Bo Nix was playing, we've been talking about I feel like we would have been talking about a different game. So it's a different thing
yeah,
when you're dealing with a
absolutely,
backup
agreed,
and a starter.
agreed,
So not
agreed.
everybody's banged up is the same on the same level. You understand?
I know, I know, I know, I know.
I'll
Hey
take a
man,
banged up Devontae Adams on the field than some of them backups now.
fair enough, fair enough. And I
I'm
want to
just
get
talking
into.
smack.
I
I
know
got
it.
to.
I want to get into some of this NBA stuff, man. I want to talk about this Bam Adebayo thing, and I have
Mm.
a rant, right?
Mm.
And first of all, let me just say I don't have no issue with Bam scoring 83. All right.
Why should you?
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm I listen to NBA radio and I'm watching all these people and they're like, it's an asterisk by it. First of all, let me start here, right? The idea that when we see guys in the NBA and they're kind of known for rebounding more, or they're kind of known for their defense more, they're
Mm-hmm.
kind of known for like, they'll get you like 17 or 18 or 19 sometimes, and they're not deemed as scorers. First of all, they're in the NBA because at one point they were scoring.
They were
And
scores. Yeah.
so let me give you an example. Kendrick Perkins, when he was in high school, his senior year, he had a playoff game. We had 34 points, like 21 rebounds, and like double digit blocks. Okay. Granted, taller than the other people, yes. But these people can score. And then there was a point where they were elite scorers at their level, right? Dennis
Mm-hmm.
Rodman could score when he was in college, right? He could score baskets. He just didn't, right? When he
Chose
got to
not
the
to.
NBA. Yeah, he
Yeah.
chose not to when he
He
got to the
chose
NBA.
not
He
to.
focused on rebounding and defense, right? So my point is when I keep hearing, well, Bam's not a scorer. Says who? He can score. He just plays the role that the system allows him to play, right? Um, and so my big issue is, um, man, that man scored 83 points, and people want to put an asterisk by it. You know how hard it is to score 83 points. I don't care how bad of a defense you're playing against, because you know what? There's other teams that are tanking. Is everybody going to go score 83 points? Right? You could say,
Mm-hmm.
I heard people say, well, it was legit till he hit 70. Oh, well, if you get 70 points and it's still 9 minutes left in the game, you're not gonna try to get the 83? You gonna say, yeah, no, I'm gonna
Well,
stop right here. No.
the
On top
thing
of
of
that, you gonna
go ahead.
blame you gonna blame, well, how many times did you go to the free throw? Well, he can't foul himself.
Yeah.
Somebody had to foul him. You blaming him because he got fouled? That don't make no sense either. So I'm look, I'm the biggest. I'm one of the biggest Kobe stans. I'm a huge Kobe stan. All right, and Kobe stands like, nah, it ain't legit because Kobe was playing a team. Look, Kobe was playing a Toronto team that was losing too, right? That Toronto team was trash, right? And I love Kobe, but that team that he scored the 81 on was a trash Toronto team. Having
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Rose or not, it was a trash Toronto team.
It was.
So what are we saying, right? I'm not finna take the Bam scoring 83 points and try to figure out a way to crap on it. He earned the 83 points regardless. The ball had to go in the basket, right? If they was at the free throws, guess what? He made them. I watched Houston the other night go what? 4 for 16, 17. So we ain't gonna use. Well, it was free throws. Like, so free throws just easy. Okay, well, I watched LeBron, the Golden Boy, miss some clutch free throws. So I mean, what we saying?
Shaq shot 50% for his career.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So what are we saying? Why are we trying to take
Well, I'm gonna
that away from Bam?
I'm gonna tell you this is why people are gonna try to take it from Bam. Because they said once he hit about 70, he entered that fourth quarter, he had about 70 points. His own teammates were missing free throws to get in fouling and give him extra possessions to try to score the ball. That's why a lot of people look at it as it has an asterisk behind it because they were tailoring it to help him get the 83 versus somebody like Kobe who needed every single 81 points to win that game against the Toronto Raptors that they were playing against. He needed every single one. So it kind of skews the perception because of the fact that it's not bad defense all the way through, but when your teammates are ushering it along, I guess that's what they're trying to say is that when your teammates usher it along and it's not really a legitimate type of it's not coming within the flow of the game. Your players are at the free throw line, a good player shooting free throw, and all of a sudden he's just missing it. They fouling to get you extra possessions. You're kind of catering to him to break it. And that's where people are getting fed up with that about. That's the perception that I've seen. Now, 83 is 83, regardless of how you want to do it. And Bam didn't even want to break the record, to be honest, from what's being told. He wasn't trying to go out there and actually break Kobe's 81. That's how he had this respect from what I've read or heard. He didn't really want to break it until he went to the huddle and they said, go ahead and do it. You might as well. And then he got that last foul and he made the last two free throws. But he wasn't going to try to break it because he had that much respect for Kobe. But at the end of the day, it happened. It is what it is. Congratulations. But I see why people say that. Not saying that I agree with it, but I see why people say that because when it's not really coming in the flow of the game if you scoring it. Your teammates are pretty much, I guess you could say, like tanking. You're intentionally doing something to usher him to score. And that's where people are getting fed up about it about. That's it.
Still
That's
gotta
it.
get ball. Still gotta go in the
Yeah,
basket.
but if you've got I mean, we've all played. If you've got a teammate that's just hitting his shots and is on
Mm-hmm.
fire, what are you going to do? You're going to feed him the ball, you
Exactly.
know? And this guy was doing it on a historic level.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
And I guess the
and 36 free
yeah.
throws made, I mean, that's
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
insane.
also
Exactly.
but I guess
That's
also some
there
people
was
are,
everything hitting for him.
but I think some people are also looking at it from the simple fact that they were already winning by so much that he did not need to be on the court at all. And that's probably
Let him
where
go for it.
But
other people are saying about that. I mean, I understand what y'all saying. I'm just saying that's what people are saying.
well, if you look at the box score, they were up by 11 at the end of the first quarter. And the rest of the game, it wasn't that it was close. Um, and yeah, I mean, I don't think that
Yeah,
any
until the
lead is
third
safe in
quarter.
the NBA anymore after you saw what happened with, the Spurs a
That's
few games ago and stuff, and
yeah. That's true.
especially with all the three-pointers that folks heave up and stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, and if I mean, are we gonna say anything about the Wizards not double teaming him because he's the only one that's scoring any points?
I'm telling you right now,
There's
I'm losing
there's
all
all
my
kind of
I'm using all my fouls.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You ain't scoring 83 on me.
Yeah.
I'm on the bench,
Well,
bro. I ain't got no parts in that. I'm on the bench. He got 10
Yeah.
points off me. That's
maybe
it.
that's what they did, and that's why he hit 36 free throws.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's a
that's
lot of free throws
impressive
in
in
that game.
itself, though. I don't.
Yeah,
I
It's a
think
lot of
hitting
free throws,
36
bro.
free throws is
that's
cool. Like,
crazy.
yeah. Like I
Yeah.
think it's like, dang, you was clutch from that free throw line. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
36 to 43. Yeah.
yeah,
You was living at the line.
That's
yeah,
Shoot. It's impressive, regardless.
yeah,
Because when I looked at the box score, I just happened to go on NBA.com and I was just like,
yeah.
let me
Me
see who's
too.
playing. And I said 83. Wait,
I
what?
know.
yeah. Well, cause I was at an event. I was at an event at the micro wrestling thing or whatever, right? and I opened up my phone and I'm checking the scores, and when I saw it, it was 62 or 63, and I was like, "Dang man, I'm scoring 60." And then the event finished, and my boy Jerome was like, "Bam scored 83." I was like, "No, it was like 60 something." He was like, "No, it was 83," and I was like, "No, it was 60 something." He's like, and showed me. I was like, "Oh, it was 83." And then when I was walking out, I saw it pop up on the the TV or whatever,
Yeah.
and I was like, and then I started looking at things, and all I heard was a bunch of criticism, and I heard Robert Ory say we got to put an asterisk by this one, and I'm just not for that, man. That man played hard. Uh,
He scored 83
Miami,
points, man. It's
yeah,
in the record
and
book, so it don't even matter.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it is what it is, and people getting upset about it. I don't
it
understand, man.
it is crazy. The part about it is like, and I'm not ever going to knock what's done happen in the past, but this is something people visibly seen, can verify. It don't matter
Yeah.
whether you want to put an asterisk on it or not. He scored 83. Kobe Bryant, he scored 81. It ain't
Yeah.
like we ain't seen people like Luka score
Yeah.
70 plus in a game, stuff like that. So we seen him go high. Ain't nobody seen Wilt Chambers is 100.
Yeah. There's nobody
Besides the
who
people that were
really.
actually in the place there, he scored 100
Yeah,
points. Now, is anybody knocking that? Or there's some people that try to debunk it, but you can't. What can you say? Like,
it
first of
happened.
all, and let me just go ahead and do it this way. No matter what you want to say, what would be the reason for them to skew Wilt Chamberlain's number for 100 points? Well, we're
Yeah,
talking about a time to where, let's just be honest, it wasn't like everybody was on the bandwagon for colored folks, black folks to actually be at that time. So
Successful. Yeah.
it's
hmm
not like the NBA was pushing him out there to be such this glorious figure or something like that.
and he was very outspoken about that too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So there's all this stuff, but I ain't going against Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100 points. I believe it. The man's been averaging 55 in a season.
Exactly. I was gonna
yeah,
say he averaged 55 that year, so
You
the
know what I'm
fact that he
saying?
only scored 100 once is crazy.
crazy. Yeah,
And then on top of
exactly.
that, and
yeah,
then when you start thinking about it, on top of that, there's people like Cheryl Miller that scored 100 points in a college basketball game. College basketball game is less minutes than an NBA game.
No
She
three
scored
point. No
no
and
three
no
three
point
three
back
pointers,
pointer.
then.
and
Yeah,
she
no three
scored
pointer.
100 points.
Yeah,
Right.
And it's not like, oh well, and it was actually over 100 points if I do recall,
Yeah.
because
It was like
Reggie Miller told the
107 or
story
something
about
crazy.
his
Yeah.
sister doing it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Cheryl Millerson told the story. Her
yeah,
dad doesn't verify. These are things that doesn't happen, so it's not out the realm of possibility. I don't care how a man scores it. He scored it. 36
yeah,
free throws. Yes, that is diabolically a lot of free throws to take for somebody.
yeah, yeah,
Especially, but for one, you got to think about he's a big man, so most of his points are definitely going to come from within the paint. He's going to
Right.
cause
yeah.
a lot.
Which
That's
means
where
he's
most
gonna
of the
get
fouls
fouled.
happen.
He's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
get fouled. So
yeah,
he was getting fouled. He shot 22 3-pointers, but he made only 7.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So he's only
yeah,
made 7 3-pointers. So
yeah,
most of his points were in the paint. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Bam is a physical person, so I can understand him getting fouled.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not out of the realm of possibility. Now I do understand where I can understand why people would want to put an asterisk, but you can't take away 83 points. It is 83
It,
points. I don't care
it,
who it was on. Now it had to be against a trash team because a good team ain't gonna give off 83 points. Let's just be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
It's barely you see a good team give off
Yeah.
50.
Wizards
And
are
those
terrible.
50 be hard 50s that person got to work for.
right.
Unless you Luka against Atlanta,
Well,
but that was that year where nobody was playing defense
well,
in that
let
game
me
Right.
either. So
let me
For
ask you
Atlanta,
this:
yeah.
if it's SGA or if it's Luca or if it's Anthony Edwards, are we having the same conversation? Are they putting an asterisk on it?
no, I don't think so.
They're not.
I don't think so. It just
It's an
depends on who they
asterisk
want
because
to
it's
push.
Bam out of Bayou.
Yeah, because he's not being pushed. He's not a person that they try to push out.
Right.
Bam
He's
falls
Maybe
not
he
into
a
should
that
have. He's a
second.
good
scorer.
dude. I don't know
Yeah,
why they're
yeah.
not trying to.
The
He's
I
a
problem
don't
good
know.
is,
Yeah,
person.
exactly.
I
I
think
don't even
he's
think it's
awesome.
really. I don't even think it's really he's not a scorer because Bam can score the ball. He averages at least 18 something points a game or 20 points a
But
game.
yeah,
So
but they
you
don't
know
deem that
you
as
are.
being a scorer.
But the thing about it is, we know he can put the ball in the bucket. Now, the biggest problem is, I think it's because Bam is one of those secondary tier players. You don't think of him as your superstar, all-star, superstar level player. You're not looking at him
Because
like
for
you're not
Miami, it's
putting him
Tyler Hero.
right. Even though Bam is pretty much like the face of that team right now, to be
Yeah,
honest with
yeah.
you, he's the
He
identity
was,
of their team. Tyler Hero is good, but he's been injured a lot this year.
yeah. Well,
But
Bam's
when you talk
averaging
about
20 points a game. Yeah.
yeah, so when you talk about Miami, you're talking about Bam and Tyler Hero most of the time. Jimmy Butler's there, not there no more, so you ain't talking about him. So, but when you're really looking at it, it's the second tier star because he's not hitting all-star games all the time. You know what I'm saying? He's never really in that big conversation of who they're trying to push to be a superstar in the league. So if he ain't on the Ant-Man or Wembyama, or you ain't on those teams where Luca, your tier one superstar players, they look at it as they putting an asterisk behind it because that ain't his game. That ain't what we like you said, that ain't his game. Even though we know Bam can score points. I mean, this when his career high was what 30 or 40 points. That was his previous career high. So you know he can score 40. It's like this ain't no secret. We know he can score 40. Just because the man don't do it all the time don't mean that he can't do it. You know what I'm saying? We seen people. You've seen people score points that's just like where did that come from? I mean, we had a
Yeah.
Jeremy Lin craze for a whole minute because he was
Right.
dropping buckets
Yeah, I
left and
remember
right.
that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and what happened after that? He faded off, but Linsanity was a real thing. He was dropping 30 and 20 and dropping buckets on boys. Like
Yeah.
these boys can ball. Like it's not something funny that's just made up. But I think
Yeah.
it's just a
Well,
second
that's
tier. He's not a superstar. He's an all-star caliber player. He don't hit the superstar, so people want to hate on it. And it's just like,
Well,
don't hate, just respect it.
the thing that jumped out to me the most is he's only 28 years old. I mean, I thought he'd been playing for a lot longer than that, you know? So he's
Yeah,
still a young guy, and
that's
yeah.
true.
you know, maybe this will be a turn pager in his career and he'll
Yeah.
get the attention. Because I remember when we played the Heat in the championship, the Nuggets, and he was the only player on that team that was giving us fits, really. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
so
remember.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for um, Jordan, who came in when Jokic got in foul trouble,
Yeah.
would have just made that whole series different,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, I mean, and at 28 years old, he's still got. I thought he was a lot older than that. So
I
Yeah,
I
did
it's
too,
would
crazy because
actually.
he's been in there for a while. It seems like he's
Wow.
been there
Yeah.
exactly,
for a
yeah,
while.
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
thought that's the biggest thing that I was like, man, I can't believe that old guy's scoring that many points, you know.
Yeah.
But
Because he's
then
been in so long.
I look and I'm like, he's only 28, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
most of the attention he's gotten lately is his support for Asia Wilson and
Yeah,
stuff in the WNBA, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yep.
okay,
I'm
good
happy.
for
Yeah.
you, man. Yeah,
I'm happy for
Yeah.
the man. You know what I'm saying? Don't
yeah,
hate
me
the
too.
man. Just it is
Oh,
what it is. You know,
Yeah.
it is what it
and
is.
I'm mad that I didn't get to see it, you know.
Yeah.
I missed the Kobe 81 game. I
Me
missed
too.
this game, you know. I remember I was in Iraq when Kobe hit 81, and I remember everybody coming into the tent, the big tent that we were all living in, saying Kobe hit 81, you know, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there was I, I'm pissed that I missed it
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
every
Because I
time
was
one
at
of
an
those big
event.
games happens,
Yeah,
I happen to be watching a
I'm
sorry
trying to think of.
game or something else.
I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of how many big games have I ever seen somebody go over
Exactly.
50.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I
And
always
I don't
miss it.
think I've literally. Yeah, I always miss it or something like that. I always miss it. Always miss it
I saw
somehow, some way.
I saw Barkley score 50 against the Nuggets in person when he was with the Sixers.
Yeah.
And that was when they had Manute Bol and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the only game I can really remember ever seeing. I never watched I didn't see the Jordan game where he scored 63 against the Celtics
No.
in the
Didn't see.
playoffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like every time there's a big game,
Yeah.
I saw
I'm
the
watching some stupid other game.
I saw the Kobe, his final game with when
Sure. Yeah,
Shaq was there and all.
Actually, I
I
saw
saw
that
that
I
one.
one.
did
I
watch
saw
that
that
one.
one.
Yeah.
I watched
Yeah, I
that
saw
one.
that
Yeah.
one.
But you watch that because it was his last game, not
Yeah,
because he thought he
exactly.
was going to put up, 50 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He scored 60 in that game.
Yes,
Was it 60? Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it was 60 in that
61,
game.
wasn't it?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 61, I think it was.
Hmm.
You know, the 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 thing is, I know a lot of people are gonna blame tanking, but what is it the NBA can do to? Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, they're tanking, they're tanking." I don't know what the NBA can do to prevent
Fine up,
tanking,
snatch draft picks.
but you can't. Like we know they're tanking, but
But
you
they,
know,
but they don't even they still have the lottery.
yeah,
So you
it's not
can
even guaranteed.
yeah, it's not like the NFL where you can be the worst team and then you get, the
Yeah,
number one
Yeah, but
quarterback in college football.
like
that's
Dallas
true.
lucked up last year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you
And
you
so did the
playing you
Spurs the
playing
year
the
before
odds
that with
game.
Wemby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're definitely playing the odds game. I mean, the only thing you could, like I said, the only thing you could do is snatch draft picks. That's it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. The NBA is the
Find them
only
and snatch draft
sport
picks.
That's the only sport where you can literally turn your organization around with one key player, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, you can.
Because look at LeBron in Cleveland.
yeah.
Look at Wemby and what he's doing to San
San
Antonio,
Antonio, yeah,
who haven't been anything since they got Tim Duncan number one overall, and he did what he did for 20 years. And
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I mean, the Lakers, when they got Shaq, when they traded
Yeah,
for, him,
yeah.
from Orlando, who was benefiting from Shaq, when they drafted him number
Drafted
one
them,
overall.
yeah,
And yeah, the NBA, I think they've tried to address the tanking
and I think
by
that's the
doing the
reason why they
lottery.
came with the lottery. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And granted, it you could tank all you want to. It doesn't guarantee you the number one pick. Of course, we see that. We seen what happened, like you said, last year, where
Cooper, yeah,
Cooper
hmm
Flag, just the luck of the bounce of the ball. Now
yeah.
you do have a bigger odds being number one because you got the most percentage chance. You know what I'm saying? Because pretty much it's just like you got more tickets in the basket. So I guess what you could try to do is that, well, if you are found to be tanking, and maybe they can just switch your
take your
odds up,
second.
or they could take your second, or they could do something like, well, you won't be in this lottery pool, or you can't get a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
You could be in
you're
a lot.
automatic.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
automatically, your pick will be forfeit outside the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, if
Something
you
like
look at
that,
like
whatever.
teams like Utah and Sacramento, it doesn't even look like they're tanking to get a number one draft pick. It feels like they're tanking so that they don't have to pay big salaries, and then they can just pocket all that regional money that they make from all the stuff.
I definitely
I,
feel that's what Sacramento is doing.
I feel Utah's been doing that since they got rid of Gobert. I mean,
Yeah,
Utah's been tanking for 10 years. I think teams like that should just lose their franchise. They should move them somewhere else, sell them to another player, move a team back to Seattle.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
What's Portland doing?
yeah.
There's so many teams that are tanking just for the sake of tanking
Now,
and not
and
paying and making more money,
but
just like the Rockies are doing in Colorado with baseball and stuff right
but
now.
this is
So,
the
Yeah.
hard part about, actually, like, some things you can see as legitimate tanking, especially when they start taking their stars players and sit them down. And then there's just the fact that some teams just plain out suck. Point blank, period. You just ain't a
but you
good
can
team.
turn that around with one draft pick,
You
Yeah,
can.
but I'm just saying, like, in the sense that we say some teams are tanking, I think some teams just ain't good. Like
Well,
the Washington Wizards, they're just not
that
good. They're young.
that goes to development though. Like that's where you gotta, because if you're as here's the thing, and I'm gonna talk about the Last Dance, right? You think that Jerry Krause didn't see that his team was bad and understand this coach can't develop players, and not only can he not develop players, but the players that we have uh, seem to not be working well together. So we're gonna make some changes, right?
Hmm.
sure,
And
sure.
then you have Jordan, right? and then they're making the playoffs, but they're not getting out of the first round and all of that. And then you make another change at head coach because you're like, we need something else, and we're gonna, trade. Who is it? They traded Oakley to New York, and
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and so like as an owner, you can see when things need to be changed, and you can see when teams aren't being developed
Hey, hold on, y'all. I'll be right back.
properly. Okay. And so to your point, Gary, I agree because the ownership knows, okay, this is not working. And if you still choose to not make any changes or to let
Yeah,
it be that
yeah,
way, you're purposely letting your team be a fraud. Like you're purposely saying, I'm okay with this. And so you can't I can't settle with a team just being sucky because owners have the opportunity to fix those things or try
yeah,
to improve those things. And you can see when an ownership or a team management is trying to fix them things. If I see
yeah,
my
yeah.
manager is not trying to rectify the situation, I get rid of that one and get another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
and it feels like a coach or a manager is the one key move that you can make to turn around an organization to your point,
Yeah.
where the Bulls went from Doug Collins, who was a good coach,
Who's
to
a good
Phil
coach, but
Jackson,
wasn't
you
getting
know,
over that. Yeah.
or when the Broncos went from John Fox to Gary Kubiak because we
Kubiak.
needed a
Yep.
different and why did the Ravens get rid of Harbaugh? Why did the Steelers get rid of Tomlin?
Yeah.
There's when it's like, hey, we don't like where we're at, so you get a new coach,
Yeah.
and that's the only real legitimate move in most sports that you can make to turn a
Yeah.
team around, even in basketball.
Yeah, look at
Um,
Detroit.
yeah,
Detroit have went from
exactly.
and you know what's crazy? The players that are on that
Well, that's a
Detroit
good
team
point.
now
That's a good
were
example.
they were a bad team. They were
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
they won 24 games, I think it was.
yeah,
And then you get a new coach and they start to be developed, and look at what you have now. Like
Mm-hmm.
a potential Eastern, they could
yeah.
potentially be
But
in coming out of the East.
But also, let's
And
just
so,
be. You also got to just look at it for something, and I definitely understand that concept. I don't know what y'all was talking about while I was going the whole time, but going back to like what you were saying, like you got development. Some players just take longer to develop. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at Washington right now. Washington is not really a good constructed team. But we see the moves that they tried to make. They got Trey Young, they got Anthony Davis. They want them to be healthy, so you're not expecting them to play this year. So we could say, oh well, they're tanking the rest of the season. I would say yes, but at the same time, I would say no because you got two players that are prone to injury. Let's just go ahead and get them 100% healthy. We already got our rookies and stuff from the years prior. Now they've been terrible ever since John Wall got injured. So we ain't
yeah,
seen a good Washington team, and it's not like they haven't tried moves. They tried to
Yeah,
get Porzingis. They tried to do all these other things. They just never had a good team. Their teams just never worked out. They didn't have Russell Westbrook. They done had all kinds of stuff that they
yeah,
tried things. They tried
but
things into that
but we
narrative.
can see that they're trying.
Yeah, that's
The
what I'm
point,
saying. Some
yeah,
some
the
are
point
some
is
are
some of these
actually trying.
organizations ain't trying.
I don't even think, to be honest with you, I don't even think that the Utah Jazz have been trying to tank over the years because they done picked up players like Laurie Marketing. They done had good runs, good starts to seasons, and then they just kind of injuries tapered them all the way off. I done seen some of their. I mean, like when they first got Laurie Marketing from the Bulls, who wouldn't play for the Bulls, then he becomes a superstar, all star over there in the New York in the Jazz uniform. And I've
Not hard
watched
to do.
games. I've literally watched games to where they play competitive ball. There's seasons where they started out pretty solid in the beginning of the year. Injuries took them downhill. This is all after Rudy Gobert left. Injuries have taken them all downhill. They done did all these things, and I've seen them. Marketing gets injured. Somebody gets down. Somebody goes down. They done develop good players like that George kid. He's pretty solid. They didn't have some good players. They didn't seem to be doing something. Sacramento's another one. Sacramento had some good players. They were in the playoffs not too long ago. You know what I'm
Yeah, they were
saying?
good a couple years
So,
ago.
Yeah.
they were good a couple of years ago. And then they do things. They got DeRozan's not a bad player. So it's not like they got trash players on their team. They just a trash team. I mean, you could always go to coaching, but they've always struggled. They've been a team that's always kind of struggled since they had DeMarcus Cousins and stuff like that. They've kind of just teetered on that binge playoff team. Can't quite get over it. Kind of like my Bulls. Ever since we got rid of Thibodeau and all them boys like that, we've been this play-in tournament type. We
Well,
just need to
well,
go ahead and scrap the whole scrapbook like we just did and start all the way over. I don't know why we do it with Josh Giddey and we got rid of Kobe White and we done. So I don't know what we're doing right now, but we literally took our assets and threw them out into the wall, and we ain't get because we picked up trade deadline. We had like 5-6 different guards we picked up after we
yeah,
traded off a couple of guards, and then we picked up Vucevic and left. We traded him off for a guard.
yeah,
It's just like, why are we trading for all these guards? We ain't got nobody to play anything on. I mean, come on now. Now you look
yeah.
like, and for me, I'm thinking to myself, y'all had a solid team. What y'all needed to do was get rid of Billy Donovich and get you another
And
coach.
develop. Yeah.
That's
Well,
a coach. Yeah, that's what we were
well,
talking about.
So you're
right.
going the
And
wrong way in developing your team. But of course, a lot of times the problem we always have with a lot of teams too is they constantly changing coaches. So no players get developed because you can't do that with a constantly rotating coach system either. It just doesn't work. Sometimes you got to stick through the mud to see what does work. Unfortunately, like for
well,
my
I eat the
Bulls,
Knicks.
yeah, the Knicks, you see what happened to them. Now we sit there and be like, oh, the Knicks good. They were just the finals team, the Eastern Conference final team last year. Why did
Yeah.
Thibodeau leave?
Right.
But you just didn't like how he was managing his players. But now we look at him this year and you're like, they look like they probably either not about to be as good as they were last year or they might come up short because
Yeah.
Thibodeau had them boys grinding.
Yeah.
That's the best Karl Anthony Towns I ever see play was when Thibodeau was his coach. Now he just looked like he back in his little whatever he wants to be in
Yeah.
this year, in this
Whenever
era.
on whatever night.
Yeah, whenever, yeah, he's not, he's just always been that way for me. But
Yeah.
so it's just like when you change coaches, I'm a testament to that too. When Thibodeau left the Bulls, they got rid of him for Hoiberg or whatever, for whatever reason, and we became just this mediocre team. So it's just like it's on the owners to try to make things work, but y'all, this whole short fuse type thing with a lot of things don't always work. It doesn't work like that. You're gonna have to stick it out through the mud with some of these younger players. You got to, and that goes back to developing. Even in the NFL, we talked about developing quarterbacks. Like it seems like they're on the short end of a string, and it's just like as soon as this ain't working, let's pull the plug and go somewhere else. And it's just like you're not developing
Well,
players.
that has the. Here's the thing. I don't remember who said it, but that has everything to do with social media. It, one of the things I can't remember who I was listening to, but I was listening to it this morning, and they were just saying like if you look at over the last 20 years, those things have changed because let's say I make a trade
Mm-hmm.
and I go on to social media and I see people criticizing me for the trade, or I go on social media and the season ends, and out of the 10, out of the and this is how some people's brains are wired to work. You can see 10 positive things. That one negative is going to be the thing that sits on their brain. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
man, and they pull the trigger on firing a coach or releasing this player or whatever it is based on that one comment. And I'm kind of, you know, just making a whole general thing about sports in general, but
That's life in
social
general.
media social media has made people speed up their clock. Like it's made people not be patient anymore because uh
Sounds
everybody everybody has a voice, and the owners want to kind
sounds
of
like a sounds like they're trying to please everybody, and you can't please everybody.
You
It is
can't.
what it
You
is.
can't.
Your team could be winning Super Bowls or championships left and right, and somebody's gonna complain. It's just that's just the nature of the business. We can't, and that's the
Yeah.
problem because listening to social media, that ain't helping nothing. That ain't helping your
No.
team win because that one person out of those
And
millions that then said something, it's like, bro,
and
really, you gonna cater to the
well,
1%?
well, that's the one thing. That's the one thing that I could say about Jerry Jones that I really appreciate. Well, he doesn't care, right? And I feel like that about Crunky. Crunky's the same way with the Rams. It, yeah. I don't care who you want me to keep. I don't care who you want me to. Look, we trying to make me and McVay, we and Les Snead, we sitting up here, we trying to make some stuff happen. We trying to continue winning because we are now a franchise to be reckoned with. Regardless of not winning the Super Bowls, if you take the last 10 years, we're a team to be you know us, right?
You gotta respect them.
And
Yeah.
right, you got to respect it. So,
But see, the difference between the Rams and y'all, what y'all do, and that team that plays somewhere up in Texas kind of area, they wear silver and navy blue or something like that. Their owner doesn't care about whether he's in the press for negative or positive things. He just wants to be talked about. So he don't care about none of the like you say, he don't care about none of that because he just wants to be in the news.
yeah.
It gives him ratings, it keeps them relevant because he's in there negatively or positively. He don't really care. Other people, other players, other owners like Robert Kraft, you don't hear nothing about him. He don't care. He just stays in his little whatever, his little lane up in his little thing, and he does whatever
Yeah.
he's gonna do. And then you looking
Goes
at
to
a whole
Jupiter,
team.
Florida sometimes to go get massages and
See, there it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, like that's really like the business of not caring. We're just gonna run the team however we run the team. They just want to be talked about. Some of them just want to be talked about. Now, some of them cater to the masses, or the 1% of people that cry and complain about something. Well,
yeah.
some of y'all need to just think about it. Some of y'all, I think you had better fish to fry because y'all ain't won a like Cleveland Browns. Y'all ain't won a Super Bowl since.
Ever.
Yeah. So I understand complaining about every single thing there. Hey,
Yeah.
It don't matter. Y'all just can't win. But
They never even been, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all just can't win.
Yeah. Well, I'm a end the show with some words for the people that was criticizing Bam, even the former athletes and the former NBA players. You know, y'all putting an asterisk by it. Hey, that's y'all's prerogative. But at the end of the day, the man had to make them free throws. And regardless of how easy or how you feel they may have let him, um, even if you count just them first 70, because I saw people like the 70 is legit, but that's hard to do, right? Even the 70, that's hard to do. So put some respect on Bam's name.
Yeah,
That's all I
I
got.
would
Y'all
say
got
even
anything?
I was about to say even if you do say those 13 extra points are just null and void, the man put up 70 points.
Yeah.
70 points is a heck of a feat for somebody that doesn't score those.
Yeah. Quote. You got anything, Gary?
No, I mean, if you've got 9 minutes left in a game and you've hit 70, why wouldn't you go for it, man?
Agreed.
I mean, it's that same old thing that people complain about in college football where they're like, oh, well, they were already up by 30 points, you know?
Let's
Well,
make it 37.
let's not criticize Bam as much as we should criticize the Washington Wizards for not being able to stop him,
Yeah.
for not double teaming him,
That
Where's the
part.
criticism on their defense instead of
Yeah.
his offense?
Exactly. Yes.
That
I
part.
agree. As always, man, I appreciate y'all. It's so good to be back with y'all.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we will see y'all back next week.
All right.
Peace.
Sure.
Peace.
Take care.